I'm Terri Magrans-Courtney, and I am Lily Courtney's mom. She is 11 years old and has been diagnosed with a very rare form of mitochondrial disease, ATP. She has a variant of ATP51A, and she's also been diagnosed with spastic quadriplegic cerebral palsy, dystonia, congenital adrenal hyperplasia. Lily, can you smile for me? There you go. There you go. So I'm just going to put her in her chair for just a second, and then we'll get started. She was approved for MDCP after being on a waiting list for several years. We had it for 2 years, and then our nurse, when COVID hit, our nurse went to work for a COVID clinic, which she was making at least 3 times more. And so at that point, it was brand new COVID. And so everything shut down, and we had an extreme shortage of nurses. We didn't have a lot of information about COVID. And so we went about a year and a half without a nurse. And every time I would call the nursing company, they just didn't have any nurses to staff, and because of the shortage. And then in November of last year, we were able to find a nurse, and we started nursing at that point. It was worse than difficult. I'm educated, but I have no training in medicine and nursing. And so we went into survival mode. My husband and I, we also have 2 other children. Lily has a twin sister, and our son is 15. And so my husband and I, we both also work, and my husband and I went into survival mode. So every 2 hours, we would take turns nightly on the night shift to make sure that she was breathing, to make sure she was repositioned, to make sure that she was getting her medicines on time, and to make sure her G-tube feed was working correctly. And so every other day, we took turns on the night shift. And so we turned into walking zombies, if that's even a description, because the care that she needed at night, I was also doing during the day. My husband would go to work, and thankfully I work from home, but it was nonstop. And there were so many, with all her diagnoses, there's so many things that I didn't know to check for. And every time I would call, just out of desperation, the home health, they would tell me, we have other kids that we're trying to get staffed. We can't get staffed. There's a severe shortage. And at that point, we just felt so alone. Our 2 other children, they have needs that are equally as important as Lily's needs, even though they're typical, they don't have any special needs or diagnoses. And so we found ourselves having to prioritize which need are we going to take care of, which placed a tremendous amount of stress and fatigue on our family and on our marriage. We got through it by the grace of God to help her. One time, I know she had an extreme ear infection, and we just brought her home and kept her comfortable. One time there was a lot of vomiting. We just prayed that, please help us and give us, because we didn't have the support and the knowledge to know what to do.